if you're thinking about you out there in television land or here in the audience, a way of being involved and being active in those things that are important to you, I would suggest you go to our website and take a look, because there are many opportunities to serve on. We have several. I don't know how many. Any idea, Danny, how many advisory committees we have? About
37.
37. So lots of opportunities. With that, Mr. Chair, I'll second Commissioner Rasher's motion.
All right. Thank you very much. Very good comments. And I will like to add that I'm the liaison to the veterans group, and a great bunch of folks working on that in our veterans program. So it's been moved and second. Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Rasher?
Yes.
Commissioner Skundrich?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes. So ordered and approved. There are no public hearings scheduled for today. We'll move on to discussion and deliberations for the board. Item 40.01 is a first reading and scheduling a second reading and public hearing in the matter of considering.
Turn that off.
You know, some people are mechanically challenged.
Technically.
You know that if that happens in the circuit court, the judge takes your phone.
Pardon me?
If that happens in the circuit court, the judge takes your phone.
Okay.
Are you sure it's off?
Yeah, it's off.
Anyway, good fun this morning. Item before I was so
Rudely interrupted. Go ahead.
Item 4, first reading and scheduled second reading and public hearing in the matter of consideration of an ordinance creating a new chapter, 1231 of the Codified Ordinance of Jackson County, Oregon, relating to federal coordination policy, ordinance number 2011-15. Danny.
Yes, Mr. Chair, this is the first reading, as you said, and scheduling of the second reading and public hearing of an ordinance creating a new chapter, 1231 of Codified Ordinance of Jackson County, Oregon. It's relating to the federal coordination policy. Through a request for proposal process, Craig Stone and Associates Planning Limited and Cable Houston, Benedict, Hagenson, and Lloyd were hired to create the federal coordination policy on behalf of the county. This ordinance will aid in protecting and enhancing Jackson County's economy while promoting the responsible employment of resources on and in federal lands. In this case, the second reading of the ordinance and the time of the public hearing for public comment and public input will be held on December 7th, 2011 at 9:30 a.m. in the courthouse auditorium. There's no direct financial impact in adoption of this, but of course there's potential of utilization of staff resources into the future.
Gentlemen?
Danny, if you would you just give a quick, brief description for the benefit of those watching and those maybe in the audience, what this coordination entails and how this benefits the county in a succinct manner?
Okay, I'll try my best.
Okay. Because I think it's interesting. I think there's some misconceptions, but it would be helpful.
What the request for proposal sought was for Craig Stone and Associates and Cable Houston to help us vet through a myriad of federal law, federal administrative rules, court cases, all which lead to the point that the county, in our case, create a plan in which we require federal agencies to coordinate with us before they take actions that affect the county or that have impact on the county. It does provide an opportunity for the county to be notified earlier than the public would be notified when the federal government is considering taking any action. And those actions range through the different agencies. It could be, action on timber issues. It could be action on wildlife areas. It can be action on impacts on, minerals and water. And I mean, it's a myriad of things.
Grazing issues.
Grazing issues. There's some myriad of things that the government manages. In this case, because we adopt a policy and you're doing so by ordinance, we have to present that policy and demand our right to be coordinated with the agencies. And once that is done, and once again I'm summarizing this, there's a lot more detail to it, but once that's done, the federal agencies are required to do so. It gives the county a seat at the table in this case that we may have not normally had. It also gives us the ability to more likely impact, although I wouldn't say control, the outcome. It gives us the ability to more likely impact the outcome of any decision that may be made. And this can range from very small actions like, a NEPA process that we want to be coordinated with. It could go all the way down to a road project where a study is required. And then it goes obviously to very big critical issues that have affected the county, like timber and water and wilderness areas and those kinds of things. So that's generally a brief description.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think it's important for people to understand. This is actually a federal statute. And the thing I hope people do understand, coordination means that the feds have to consult with us, bring us to the table, have a seat at the table, as Danny said. Doesn't mean they have to listen to us. But in building relationships and such, we hope to have that impact, again, as Mr. Jordan stated earlier, and have an impact on whatever decisions are being made. But at least it allows us to hear what's going on instead of a facto decision made ahead of time. So while this isn't a panacea to all kinds of land use issues with the feds, it does give the county an excellent opportunity to participate. And by creating an ordinance, then when we knock on, for example, I use BLM's district manager's door, we have this document in hand, and it gives us a little more authority, if you will. Probably not the right word, but let's say opportunity. So I think it's an important thing for the county, and I'm certainly glad that we took how long we've been working on this for?
Probably 2 years.
2 years.
The other part that's probably kind of important, besides having a seat at the table and being able to coordinate, is this does give us the ability to enforce the requirement that agencies coordinate with us. So if they're presented with our coordination requirements and the specific details that we wish to be coordinated on and refuse or fail to do that, the county has some legal basis for taking action.
That's a reason for the ordinance. Right.
Well, and I just want to add, there are some examples out in Modoc County and Oahe County where there were government actions that were actually prevented restrictions, due to the coordination process. So it is valuable. I look over in Josephine County where I believe they're going to add about 54,000 acres to the wilderness over there, and they don't have their coordination program in the works yet. And if we had something like that in Jackson County, now they would have to come and talk with us about that. Not that we could prevent it,
correct,
but we could
important point.
They would sure hear our input, however it was, whether we were for it or opposed to it.
Well, we're not done yet. We still have a first and second reading, and I look forward to December 7th. This is we will be the first county in the state of Oregon to actually have a full coordination policy as it relates to all federal agencies, and it's been a lot of hard work. We did unveil this our draft of our policy, while not complete because we haven't finalized it, to all the other counties in the state of Oregon at the AOC meeting, and there was a tremendous amount of interest for the policy. AOC will carry the policy online for counties to adopt, and there's a template that can go out to all counties that have a tremendous interface with federal lands. Presently, Jackson County has 51% of the lands that are federally held, so this is a very, very important issue for us. So,
AOC would be the Association of Oregon Counties. For
oh, that's right. Thank you for that. I get so used to using those.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay. That's
with that,
that's one up on the cell phone.
Mr. Chair, I move the adoption of ordinance number 2011-15 for the first reading.
And the second reading scheduled for December 7th.
2011.
So
I will second that.
At 9:30 a.m. in the courthouse auditorium.
Thank you. At 9:30 a.m.
And where?
moved and seconded. Call the roll,
At the
please. At the county court.
county courthouse.
Motion so reflected.
Commissioner Skundrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Rasher.
Yes.
Commissioner Smith.
Yes. Item so ordered and approved. Next item of business